Hello, my name is Dr. Kenny Ayoade, and I'm so happy to be here with you again. We started with the topic Kingdom Mindset on our I Look Witness series, and why this topic is particularly very important in this time and age, especially for young believers, is to be able to know the kingdom that they have been accepted in, and to know that there are also requirements, their mindsets that they need to develop so that they can begin to enjoy their walk with the Lord. We've had for too long Christians coming into Christ and still behaving like the world, still doing things like the world, making decisions like the world, and sometimes you just wonder: is it that they think their salvation experience was not real? Is it that they did not really meet God? Is it that what happened? Did they receive a fake Christ? Did they just receive, was it a scam? Those kind of things where you wonder, because when you see the character, you see the fruits that that they display and express, you kind of are taken aback to wonder what must have gone wrong in their salvation experience. And this course is just to throw more light as to what goes wrong when a believer refuses to undergo or go through the process of transformation, and what can be done about it. So, like I said earlier in my last video, that you have come into a kingdom whose governorship or leadership is Jesus, who is the King. And to have a kingdom mindset meaning is just means that we begin to develop the thinking and the perception of our King, so that we begin to reflect His image and begin to bear fruits that the world will see and be drawn and be attracted to the kingdom we now are representing. Every one of us is representing that kingdom. That is why it's very important that we undergo this transformation. And transformation is a process, it's an ongoing process that never stops. We keep renewing our minds to conform to the image of Christ. We keep renewing our mind until we are more and more like Jesus. And so when you find people struggling with their Christian walk, sometimes it's a problem of transformation. Sometimes it's a problem of the thinking pattern, the faulty thinking pattern that they have developed. I was reading from Romans chapter 12, verse 2, that says, do not conform to the pattern of this world. There's the thinking of this world that is different from the thinking of the kingdom. And so if you try to bring in the thinking of the world into the kingdom, you begin to have internal conflict and begin to experience a lot of issues in your walk with the Lord. For example, when you find Christians struggling with God, with envy, with jealousy, still in and out of sin, gossiping, worrying, you would agree with me that it has to do with a thinking mindset, that has not been able to, how do I put it now? You would agree with me that it's more of them not able to submit that thinking, that mindset that produces actions to God. And like I said earlier, it's an ongoing process of dying to flesh, of releasing your heart to God, exposing your mind to the right stuff, so that you can now begin to rewire your mind. Bearing in mind that before you came to Christ, a lot of things happened to you as an individual. Your childhood experiences, your adverse, experiences you may have gone through, all sorts of drama and trauma that you must have experienced before you met Christ. All that you are bringing into your salvation experience. So even though you have given your heart to Christ, at the level of your soul, you might still have this wound and these scars that you are bringing as a baggage even into your journey. And Jesus does not expect you to carry that burden or carry that baggage as you begin to walk with Him. He is expecting that with time, as you fellowship with Him, as you walk with Him, those baggages begin to shed off like an onion layers. You begin to shed off. As we behold Him in a glass, you become more and more like Jesus. And so you now begin to grow, so that you can look back after a few years and say, oh, I used to think this way, I used to talk this way, I used to act this way, but look at me today, I am different, I am changing. And so transformation is an ongoing thing until we see Jesus keep transforming. We keep getting better. We keep we are supposed to continue to renewing our mind. So when we find believers who are not actively in this pursuit of mind renewal, you find them in all kind of vices, and they are very, very dangerous people to be along with because of the way they think. You can't even tell the difference between them anymore because of just the way they think. I wrap up with this verse that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So there is a serious work that has to be done at the level of your heart so that you can have a kingdom mindset. I'll continue with this thoughts tomorrow. God bless you. I love you. Jesus loves you more. Bye.